Today I'm going to be looking at or playing with this new digi kit which is now available on my website. This one is called She Walks, and that's based on the first quote on the sheet, which is "She walks in sunshine." Now this digi collection that I've got combines both elements for large and small art journals. So all of the components for the smaller version are here for you to use on the DigiKit if you want to make up the image on your own, or if you just want to use the one that's already made up, it's there for a small art journal. Now, when I say small art journal, it measures from tip to toe 6 inches and 4 inches across, and in real European money, if you like, that's 15 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So that's the small version. The large version, which is a little bit bigger, which is designed for larger art journals, if you like, or larger projects, is from tip to toe is 7 inches, and across the wingspan is approximately about 12 centimeters. Yep, and just under 5, so 5 inches. And then you have a collection of quotes that you can use, and if the ones you don't use, obviously you can put to one side and use again at a later date. So I've left the space so you can cut them out with as much border above or below as you want to. So I love these ones. I think these are absolutely cool, even if I do say so myself. So today I'm going to be working in one of the last pages of my 10 by 10 journal, which is this one, spelled with a capital D, and I'm going to be using the full composite image, which I'm going to cut out with my craft knife, and then I'm going to layer up one of the quotes, which I quite like, the "She walks in sunshine." But for the background, I fancy doing some like watercolory, splashy kind of abstracty backgrounds. Now to do that, I'm going to be using a new product to me that I've never used before, and these are called Luscious. Now these are pigment powders. Now I know that there are lots and lots of different versions of the pigment powders on the market. Now the difference between these ones that I can see is that these contain slight pearlescent mica flakes. So some of the pigment powders that you see on the market, when you put the colour into the water or activate with water, they are flattish. These have got a kind of mica-y kind of consistency to them. So the colours that I've got at the minute, I'm not going to use all of these today, but the colours that I've got are... this isn't all of the colours, believe me. So I've got teal there. I have blue, so difference in the colours of the blues. I've got buttercup, beautiful yellow colour. I have gold and silver, adorable. There is green and lawn, one darker, one lighter green. I have purple. Now there's also a rose bronze. Now if you can see the difference between the two, that's more of a pinky brownie. And then there is orange, and then we have rose. You can see the difference between that and the rose bronze, which is definitely darker. And then the final two colours, we have a raspberry and we have coral, which is beautiful. So those are the colours that I've got. Now, like as I said, they are they're not exhaustive. There are some other colours that I don't have in my collection just yet. Bronze being one of them. But I know that there is also a new collection of 6 of these colours that will be coming out very, very soon. I will show you the new 6 colours because they are kind of steampunky themed. Yes, I know we have some steampunky colours coming out in these pigment powders. So those are the ones that I've got. Now, I have to say, I did not pay for these. These were a gift from Indigo Blue, mainly because I do some work occasionally for Indigo Blue, which includes actually designing the labels for these. So as a thank you, they gave me a set of these beautiful Luscious powders that I'm going to have a play with. So to play with them properly, I'm going to need some water, and I'm going to need a dry brush, which I have got somewhere, but I actually want to put a little bit of modelling paste onto the background first to create some nice little relief texture, so I can get some of this colour running into it. So I'm going to shut up now, and I'm just going to get on with it, and I will join with you again at the end. So I'm going to be using a very fine modelling paste. This pot is also from Indigo Blue. I'm just putting some on my craft mat, as you can see, and the stencil that I've chosen to go with this page is the large damask stencil, again from Indigo Blue. So I just want to add the modelling paste through the stencil, and I'm just going to put it just lightly through. I'm not trying to get it really thick. I just want a nice even kind of pattern on the background of my page. So I'm going to put it entirely in the top left, and then I'm going to put fragments on the top right and then the bottom left, because I'm going to leave a space for my focal point on the page. So lots of lovely texture on the background of that page. Now I'm just going to tilt the page so you can see just exactly what it looks like. Yummy. So I'm now going to grab my new heat gun. This is the Heated craft tool from Ranger. This is the black one because my pink one finally gave up the ghost. Not too bad. I've had it about 5 years. I've put the book to one side, and it's now time to cut out my main focal point. So this is printed from the digi kit. I showed you this at the beginning of the video, and I'm just going to use a scalpel, a craft scalpel, just to cut it out from the paper. Now obviously I'm not going to make you sit and watch me fussy cut the entirety of this thing out, so I'll just show you the beginnings and then I will jump to the end. All done. That didn't take too long, did it? Okay, so now I just want to hide those raw edges. So for that, I'm going to use a Tuxedo Black dual tip marker from Memento, which is a Tsukiniko company. And I'm just going to go all the way around the raw edges with that black pen just to hide those white edges. So just about finished with that now, so I can pop the pen away. I just want to see how it's going to sit on my page. Now it's all dry, and that's going to sit nicely just in that bottom right hand corner. So it's now time to start adding the Luscious powders. So before I do that, I just want to wet my page just to give it a little bit of a damp background so that the powders don't blow off if I sneeze. So I'm just going to add the Luscious powders directly onto the page, and then I'm going to activate them with water. Now this is going to be quite a long process because I am going to add each colour and then add more water, get it to activate, and then I'm going to heat, dry, add more colour, add more water. So what I'll do is I'm just going to carry on playing some music. You can sit and watch me activating and playing with all the pigment powders. I will put on screen which ones I'm using from the collection, and then I will join with you again when they're just about dry and I'm ready to start adding all the elements to my page. So I've now got quite a lot of that pigment down there onto the page, and I need to really get it dried off as much as I possibly can. Now there's a lot of water on that page, and you're not really going to see, so the tip of my brush just fell off then. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just activating some of it where it's clumped a little bit onto the paper. So there's a lot of water, so it does need to be dried off now, so before you can actually see a lot of that mica and a lot of that shine in there. But before I dry it completely, I wanted to do a quick test to see what would happen if I mixed some of the Luscious powders just with water to create a spritzer. And I just added some of the green into a bottle with a bit of water and just sprayed it onto the page to see what would happen. And sure enough, I've created my own mica spritzer, kind of shimmer misty spray. And look, it's all nice and dry, and you can see just exactly how it's worked. So another way to be able to use these fantastic Luscious powders. So now that I have my rainbowy kind of background all done, I'm going to glue down my focal point from the She Walks Digi Kit, just using some spirit glue from Collage, and I'm just going to apply that to the back and then stick it down in that area that I've left on the page for the focal point. So I now want to kind of lift the image from the background. So I'm going to use one of the Micron Pigma pens. This is a number 5. And I'm just going to go around at the outside and add some detailing and some doodling with the Micron pen. It is an archival ink pen, so this will be permanent when it's dry. It won't reactivate again. So I'm going to go all the way around my focal point, and then I'm going to pick out the detail inside the drawing or inside the image with the pen as well. One of the fun things about art journaling is adding doodling like this to a collage piece where you've got a mishmash of images from different sources, and because it really does help to unify them all together, it makes them look as though they were meant to be. So adding all these black lines and a little bit of doodling to them is a great way of trying to make your page very much more cohesive, or if it is a little bit disjointed or looks a little bit disjointed because you've used elements from different sources, then this is a brilliant way of being able to pull them all together. So I'm happy with all of the doodling on my main focal point now, so it's time to add my quote or page title from the digi sheet. So I've chosen the quote, "She walks in sunshine," and I'm just going to stick that down using the same spirit glue that I did before onto the page, just on that left hand side. Now again, using that pigment micron pen, I'm going to go around and just add a little bit of a doodly border around the word blocks, just to make it pop and make it so that it blends with the rest of the doodles on the page. So after I've done this, I just need to add a little bit more black into the background, and to do that I'm going to bring in some black liquid India ink. So this is a bottle of black India ink from Winsor & Newton. All I'm going to do is grab a small paintbrush and then just dip the brush into the ink and then just splatter, because it's wet, I'm just going to splatter it around the page to help add some blackness into that background, which then complements the black from the quote and also the doodling that we've put on our main focal point. I could also add a black page border, but at this point I didn't think it needed it. I may do it later, I can come back and do it later, but at this point I didn't think it needed it. So I'm happy with that. So all I need to do now is just to sign it and date it using my Staples date stamp, and that's it. I'm going to call this page complete. So what I want to do first of all is just try and show you some of that lovely shine from the mica in those Luscious pigment powders. I really like them, and because they're a powder you can add them to all sorts of other mediums, like gel medium to your embossing powders. You can paint with them even if you wanted to. So they're a great versatile addition to your craft stash, and I'm glad I've got a nice selection of colours because I will be using them a lot. I know I will. So that's it for me. I hope you've really enjoyed watching this art journal page come together. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really does help because YouTube see that you've enjoyed it, so they will recommend my videos to other people who may not yet have found me. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end. It is free, and all that happens is that you get notified when I next put another video onto my YouTube channel. So that's all from me for now. I will see you all again real soon. Bye for now.